up, everyone? I'm the Beast, Brian London. Welcome back to the channel, The Beast On. If you could, please like the video. That means hit the thumbs up, hit the little bell so that you get notified when new videos are up, and subscribe to the channel. Not to mention, please follow me on Twitter and all the socials at Miami Radio Beast. So like, subscribe, hit the bell, and follow me at Miami Radio Beast. Let us talk about the Canes' horrific, horrendous game against Michigan State, where they lost 38-17 at home. And there's so much I could get to in this game. Looking at the game itself, you didn't tackle, you didn't really block well, you got your quarterback dinged up as they look at his shoulder. He was already limping to begin with. He didn't look great. Let's see, you couldn't catch, besides Charleston Rambo. That guy can play. Props to the transfer portal. Let's see, penalties, bad coaching. So the game sucked on every level. One team, coached by Mel Tucker, came in with a plan, executed it, and did well. The other team played at home, coming off a game against Appalachian State that didn't look too good. But, you know, Appalachian State can do that to teams. Where Miami had to prove something, maybe, they certainly failed to prove anything other than they're not good. But hey, we can still win the Coastal. So, because I'm not going to sit here and be the one to go through X's and O's, I'll let other people do that. I want to talk about, as always, the macro situation. So, yesterday, after that loss, obviously the Fire Manny chants were out there. And I see where you're coming from. And the Fire Blake James chants were out there. And I totally see where you're coming from. But I feel like I am playing Mr. Deja Vu, because I keep saying the same thing, but no one seems to, or not a lot of people want to grasp on to what I'm saying. So I hope you'll watch this and spread the message, okay? So I know there's a lot of people out there. I mean, the space is filled of people doing University of Miami podcasts and vlogs and YouTubes and all that stuff. And watch them all. But I think with my background, and if you don't know, I spent a good, 1994 to 2009, basically inside the program, okay? Just intimately inside the program, being involved. And ever since 2009, while I haven't been there every day, I've obviously kept up with what's going on deep inside, not just the athletic department, but the university itself. I am a graduate. I'm an alum. And so I've always felt the need to keep a connection to my alma mater. And so because things don't change rapidly at the University of Miami from a macro standpoint of ultimately who's in charge, which I'll get to in a second, I still have connections. I still know the people, the power players, all of that stuff. So I would hope that when you're watching my video and listen to what I'm saying, you know that it comes from at least based in some sort of hey, he knows kind of what he's talking about. I hope that's what you'll see. I'm not some dude in, my mom's basement in Tuscaloosa doing Canes videos. I'm just, my background. So, the university, everyone's like, oh, it's the president. The president's the power player. Julio Frank, Dr. Julio Frank. He doesn't care about athletics, therefore it's all shit. Well, yes, I get you. Dr. Julio Frank is the president of the university, and he is not into athletics. I mean, he was the health secretary for Mexico. Obviously, his knowledge and caring about American football is not the same, right? Now, the university has had different types of presidents over the years. They've had kind of more day-to-day academic types that have been presidents, and then more power players that have been presidents. Most recently, if you want to look at presidents, right? So Donna Shalala was more of a power player. She was a politician. She was in charge of the University of Wisconsin, Health and Human Services, was in the government. She's, Congress. She's a politician that was running the university, and she did so with power. And you may not think that she cared about athletics, and she was all about academics, and I'll get to that in a second, but I do think that Donna cared. Now, does that mean she did it right? No, that doesn't mean so. I'm just saying, I believe she cared. She understood college athletics. That doesn't mean she played the game right, but I'm just saying she understood it. Julio Frank is not a ruling with an iron fist Donna Shalala. He seems to be more of a passive, running the day-to-day ops, caring about logistical things around the university, academics, the medical school, but he's not ruling with an iron fist as Donna did. So in that case, when you have a softer voice that is the president, it really all goes back to the Board of Trustees, okay? The Board of Trustees at the University of Miami is the end-all, be-all body of power, okay? They run it all. They control the money. They control the big hires. They are in charge, okay, of the whole university system. As it relates to the athletic department, right, not every Board of Trustees member is going to be in tune with athletics. There is a separate subcommittee of the Board of Trustees called the Athletic Advisory Board, right? And that is a group of people that are specifically, basically, the power players when it comes to athletics. And a lot of the names the Gino DeMares, the Betty Amoses of the world, Ron Stone, Ed Williamson, they've been around forever, and that's why it's the same names, right, that we've been hearing for 30 years. And there's a couple of new ones, but it's been the same people. Jonathan Vilma, recently added in the not so distant past as a member of the Athletic Advisory Board. They pull the strings. They pull the strings on the athletic director, on the big hires. They are in charge. So if you want anything to change, that is the group of people that you need to get your message to. They matter. No one else, you can talk your head off to X, Y, and Z. It's not going to matter unless you're talking straight to the Athletic Advisory Board, which is a subsection of the Board of Trustees, okay? That's how the University of Miami works. And until they care and want to make a change, nothing else matters. They let Blake James make the last hire of hiring Manny Diaz from Temple, and right now we don't think that worked out. And I can tell you in a couple of conversations I had yesterday, one conversation was with someone that was intimately, I would say, intimately in discussions yesterday with two members of the Athletic Advisory Board. They were not happy, okay? But that's just two members. I don't know about the rest of them. I also talked to someone that is intimately aware of morale and thinking within the athletic department. And their sense was they felt like there was a lot of wary eyes on Blake James. But it goes beyond football, right? You've had a massive amount of transfers from the basketball team that's not performing as we thought it would with Coach L. We love Coach L, but there's something systemically wrong there when guys are leaving. And the baseball team is underperformed. And that's just the long and short of it. So when you have your three major sports that are underperforming, it now becomes not a coaching issue or a player issue. It becomes a systemic issue within the athletic department, but higher. And I think that we're getting to the point where the powers that be are not happy with what is ailing this athletic department. But the problem is, they may be upset, but do they understand what it takes if you make changes? Because you can't make changes and do the same thing and expect it to be different, okay? So let's look first the micro level with football coach. If you got rid of Manny Diaz, what do you have to do? Well, Miami, for its history, basically the only major head coach that it's ever gone after and gotten a coach here who has had real D1 bona fides is Mark Richt, right? But that was a, hey, I'm coming home, it's my alma mater, and they kind of didn't want me at Georgia anymore. So that was a unique situation that he was available. Very unique. Miami lucked into that, right? That wasn't the powers of be, going to, chase down Mark Richt. That was him. That was Miami being at the right place at the right time and doing some convincing, but still right place, right time. Every other coaching hire has either been someone that from a lesser program, right? When you get Dennis Erickson, he's coming in from Washington State. No one really knows who he is. No one understands how his offense is going to fit at Miami, but it didn't work. They won 2 times. Jimmy Johnson, right, comes in, lesser school, turns, and has it cranking. But no one had any idea. Howard Schnellenberger, what was his bona fides? I mean, he was a coach with the 72 Dolphins, but what had he done as a head coach before that? Butch Davis, right, was a Jimmy disciple, so you figured he's going to know what it looks like. He came in, he did the recruiting, but game day coaching, not Butch's strength. Randy Shannon, right, from that staff. Al Golden was a head coach at Temple, but that didn't work out. And now we have Manny Diaz. So if you're going to make a coaching change, let me back up for 1 second. I'm sorry that I'm all tongue-tied, right? It's been a long night and morning. I think now's like this is it. Like, this is your last chance to make the University of Miami or bring the University of Miami back to relevance. This is it, because not one recruit out there remembers that 2001 team. Not one recruit out there remembers Sean Taylor playing. Not one recruit out there remembers Ed Reed or Andre Johnson or Ken Dorsey. That time is gone. So this is it. It's now or never, because you can't. There's no more past to build on. You're getting too far beyond that, right? So if you're gonna do it, you got to do it, which means ponying up a good $5 to $6 million a year for a head coach. Just for shits and giggles, if you will. Mario Cristobal makes like $5.5 million a year for Oregon. I'm not saying that Mario is going to leave there to come here. I'm not even saying he should be the guy. I'm not debating that. He could be the guy. I have no idea. I'm not playing that game right now, although I do love the coaching carousel. But I'm just telling you what you're going to need in terms of money. $5 to $6 million to get a bona fide coach that is coached at a Power 5 school that knows what it looks like, okay? So if we're going to do that, the athletic advisory board has to decide they want to spend that much money. And up until this point, they have not made that decision. They want to spend that much money. They've tried to do it on the cheap, and it has not worked. So up until, for their entire run of championships, Miami lucked in to winning, right? I've done this before, the entire University of Miami athletic department was not set up to be a juggernaut of a machine in Division I football. They won in spite of all of not being really ready for prime time. You can't do that anymore. Now it's time where you got to be ready for prime time. The lights are going to come on, and you got to make big moves. So you need $5 to $6 million to get you a head coach. Now, maybe you can get one for $4. Maybe you're going to need $7. I don't know. 5 to 6 seems like a good number. But before we look at the head coach, let's look at the athletic director. As I said, systemic issues. Baseball, basketball, football. Now, I don't know how their fundraising is going or ticket sales or all the other things that go into an athletic director's job. I just know, as it relates to the X's and O's and on the field record, it's not looking good. So let's say you decide to change athletic directors. Well, it is no longer the time to go get someone that was the AD at Maine or an associate AD over there or an assistant AD over there. You've got to get an AD that has been an AD at a big school, that knows what a winning athletic program looks like on the field and off, that knows how to fundraise, how to sell tickets, how to get people to the games, how to win on the field, how to hire coaches. It's extremely important. As you go and look and do Google searches on the best athletic directors, they're often graded by the hires they make. That's the most important thing. How do they hire people? And that puts you in a realm of athletic director that's probably making between $700 up to $2 million a year, right? So let's just say we'll give it 7 to 2. We'll make it $1.3 million a year. So I'm telling you right now, if you want to rearrange this athletic department and this program, you're going to need to pay upwards of $6 to $7 million a year between your AD and your football coach. And that's what it's going to take. And I don't know if the athletic advisory board has the cojones to do that. I don't know if the board of trustees is going to want to do that. Now, I would say this. The University of Miami in the last 20 years has had 2 momentum campaigns where they've each raised $1 billion. So $2 billion in the last 20 years. Now, they've done some nice things on campus. I mean, you go on campus and there's new buildings and new dorms, and the medical school is amazing. And they have made upgrades at the athletic department. The Schwartz Center, the Sofer Indoor Practice Facility. They've done great things with the infrastructure of the athletic department. But it's time to raise more money and put it into the people that are actually working in these nice facilities. You've got to pay the money to get better. You can no longer go cheap and win. You can no longer take someone else's assistants, associates, and win. You can no longer go to the Patriot Conference and grab someone from there and win. It's just not going to work. That time is over. It's over. So this is it. This is the last straw. I'm telling you. If they make moves and they don't get it right, it's over. It's absolutely over. You might as well just get used to mediocrity. Because this is it. This is your last chance. Whatever's left of the U and all the other stuff, it's fading away quickly. So this is it. And I understand, people are like, well, they're too worried about academics. Well, I'm sorry, but you can do both. You can worry about academics and athletics. There's plenty of schools that do. I know, I'll mention Florida, very highly rated academically, also very highly rated athletically. Now it's a big public college. It's different, but there's Notre Dame. That's a private school. There's other schools, USC, that is getting back on track. They're a private school, amazing academically and athletics department that's good, that's well-built, a well-built athletic department. You can do it. You just have to want to do it. You just have to care enough to do it. And my question to the Board of Trustees and the Athletic Advisory Board is, do you care and will you do what it takes? Because we are sick and tired of being mediocre. So get it done.